Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. I hope it's sunny where you are, as well as it is for us in Manchester. I'm Phil Corbell. I'm the co-founder of the CarbonLiteracy project and its director for external relations. I'll be guiding us through what's going to be quite a packed hour to introduce you to this brilliant thing that we do, the Carbon Literacy Action Day. Um, Let's get straight into a little bit of housekeeping. This is a webinar. You are muted, but we want to know what you think. So please use the Q&A function as opposed to the chat function. Use the Q&A function on your menu to get questions to us, some of which we'll try to address during the event, but there are a couple of slots as we go through where we'll take questions live as well. We're not expecting any fire alarms or anything. So good. This is us. I've introduced myself. You'll be hearing from Grace and Fraz, who actually run the Carbon Literacy Action Day. And behind the scenes, keeping things together, are David and Fiona. So my thanks in anticipation to all of them. Dare I say, more importantly, our guests. We'll be hearing from Michelle from the Sustainable Wedding Alliance, who I think is at a very special venue herself at the moment. Georgina, about her work as a consultant, one of the only the 11 carbon literacy consultants out there, and from Transport for London about the extraordinary work that Transport for London are doing, and Claudette about her experience as a learner at NHS Supply Chain, who are already they're doing extraordinary stuff there. So that's the people that are involved. Um, this is what we're going to do. Um, uh, yeah, broadly, a bit of scene setting about not so much about us actually as a carbon literacy project. Go to carbonliteracy.com if you want to know more about the organization, what we're doing, but we're going to focus very much on what Carbon Literacy Action Day is, or CLAD to its friends, and what we've done in the past, what it's about, how to get involved, and what the theme is this year as well, but also finding out about what people have done as part of their action day over the last 5 years. I think that's how long it's been going. As I say, there'll be a chance for Q&A as well. Do please use the Q&A button. And yeah, um, if we can't answer specific questions, we can connect you to colleagues who can. So onward. You might have guessed. Yeah, we've got quite a lot of reach. And we always thought when we started this some 13 years ago that if we just stuck to the UK or English language, well, carbon dioxide doesn't respect boundaries, so we shouldn't. So we're now truly international, getting on for 50 countries. We say 7 continents because there is training in Antarctica, which always quite excites me, that as well. Um, we never are quite able to publish up-to-date figures because we're growing so fast. So, in fact, we're just that close to 160,000 certified citizens across that range. But with each citizen devising 2 actions, lots of actions. And we always feel, again, you can go to our website to look at the methodology for this, but we feel that carbon tonnage saved is probably an underestimate. So that gives you an idea of our reach, which we try to capture in what we're doing with Carbon Literacy Action Day. So, as to what it is, I think I'm going to hand the ball over to the person, the coordinator for Carbon Literacy Action Day, that being Grace. Over to you.
Oh, thank you, Phil. So yeah, I'd like to look at what Carbon Literacy Action Day actually is. As Phil mentioned, we've done it for the last 5 years. This is our 6th year, which is really exciting. But essentially, for during Carbon Literacy Action Day, we aim to have as many people from all over the world, of all ages, different sectors, complete their carbon literacy training within the CLAD window. So it started off as one day, and then we realised because of our international reach and the diversity of the participants, that one day wasn't enough. So for the last 2 years, CLAD has taken place over 4 days. So this year it will be between the 9th and the 12th of November, with the 12th of November expected to be the record-breaking day. Um, and it's a really unique opportunity to become carbon literate or to deliver a course and use it as a catalyst for climate education and action. And what's really interesting is that it is the biggest climate training event of its kind, and every action day has coincided with the UN COP31 climate negotiations. So while world leaders are making negotiations, carbon literacy learners are doing their training, collaborating with others, and taking meaningful action. So to look at subsequent years and see what the impact of CLAD today, you can see 2021, our first year, we had 502 individuals take part in Carbon Literacy Action Day, and they spanned from 17 different training providers. In 2022, there are 441 individuals with 31 training providers taking part. You can see we started to record our sectors then, and there were 11 sectors taking place across 11 different countries. And then 2023 was really exciting. The numbers increased substantially, and over 2,300 individuals took part from 225 organisations. That's 75 different training providers, 28 sectors, and spanning across 12 nations. And then 2024 was also a massive jump, and we had 3,926 learners take part from 235 organisations, similar amount of sectors to subsequent years, and our global reach increased substantially then, and learners from 22 different nations took part. And then 2025 was our second biggest action day, which is super exciting. So 2,782 learners took part from 133 organisations. And across 26 sectors, there are 78 unique courses and learners from 21 nations. So yeah, looking ahead to 2026, you can be a part of it, and we really do hope that you join us in shaping climate action this year. And just to look at 2025 in a bit more detail, as I mentioned, it was our second largest action day, and the learners committed to 5,564 climate action pledges, which is estimated to save over 10,000 tonnes of carbon dioxide. Um, the timing was during the COP30 negotiations. We do this every year just because we think it's really a strategic time to be taking climate action. And our theme was focused on connecting and collaborating with wider networks to cascade carbon literacy. And every year, the campaign really does receive a lot of support and positive feedback. People generally feedback that carbon literacy training is fun. I'm sure if you're a trainer yourself, you'll have heard that. So yeah, really do encourage you to get involved and do something exciting. And just to go into a bit more detail about the global reach of Carbon Literacy Action Day, so all of the blue countries shaded on this slide are countries where we have a registered carbon literacy course. So you'll see there's all 5 continents, including Antarctica, and to look in a bit more detail about CLAD initiatives just from last year. We had engagement in the States, so In Good Company, which is an NGO based in San Diego, delivered training to the community with a mission to increase public awareness about climate change. We find that they're CLAD regulars, as are a few of the other organisations on this. So a bit closer to the UK where I am, the government of Jersey held their second Youth Climate Summit during CLAD. They delivered training to 235 pupils in Jersey, ages 11 to 18, which is super exciting. There was also the first German carbon literacy course delivered during CLAD. So EcoQuent had an offering that was targeted at digital entrepreneurs and creators. And in Africa, in Uganda, Sorry Planet Africa were involved as well, and they support climate adaptation and mitigation initiatives in Africa and the global south. So, who can get involved in CLAD? Really, anyone and everyone. So, individuals can, organisations and trainers with accredited courses, and new organisations and trainers as well. So, carbon literacy really is for anyone, as is CLAD. And why take part in CLAD? Hopefully, you can see that we find it really exciting. And it's a really great opportunity to be part of a global climate community and to get involved in something really exciting. It's during COP31, so there tends to be a lot of news anyway about the climate negotiations, and it's a great way for your employees or your community to feel a part of something really big. And because of the timing, you can really generate a lot of excitement and activity about carbon literacy. It really is sort of a one of the kind day. And it is a really effective way to take immediate action to tackle climate change. Every learner, as you'll know, commits to two actions. And when there's thousands of people doing that, that has a massive impact on emissions. We do also provide some specialised promotional materials that you can use to amplify your impact, which we'll talk about in a bit more detail later on. And because of the timing and the notice of CLAD, it can be a really good opportunity to engage with a group that might be a bit challenging. So, for example, like senior leadership, it can be typically quite tricky to get the time in the diaries, but with CLAD, you've got plenty of notice. Um, there is also the opportunity for your organisation or community to gain visibility and recognition, because we do platform our outstanding initiatives during our World Tour webinar. This takes place every year at 5 p.m. UK time on the Thursday of CLAD Week, and it is just a really great opportunity to hear about what people from across the world have done during CLAD. And learners also receive a unique Action Day certificate. So this is what learners will get after taking part in CLAD to recognise their participation. So there's several ways that you can join in. So firstly, if you've got a carbon literacy course, do make sure that you're registered via the JOT form. We'll post a link in the chat and we'll also send it to you in a follow-up email. And then once you've completed the JOT form, you can read our Action Day roadmap and you're free to begin planning your CLAD training. If you don't yet have an accredited carbon literacy course, again, do make sure you're registered via the JOT form. You'll receive the roadmap, but a member of our team will also be in touch to support you with gaining access to a carbon literacy course. So it may be accessing one of our ready-made toolkits or developing something more bespoke. And then simultaneously, while you're getting course access, you can begin planning your initiative, and our team are there to help you with that journey. And then when you know that you're definitely taking part in CLAD, do let us know your plans. So in early summer, we'll be sending another JOT form where you can share details about your Action Day activity. You don't have to have everything fleshed out at this stage, but if you know that you're definitely taking part, do fill in the form, because it then will enable you to get access to the comms pack, and this can help you promote your training. You can use it to get new learners engaged and also to show off externally about what you're doing. And then the last day of the action day is the 12th of November, and that's when we'll have the webinar so we can all come together and celebrate. If you're a training provider, there's several ways that you can get involved. So, firstly, you can run an open course for individuals or a specific audience, and then we provide some support with advertising for this. Alternatively, you can deliver a course internally within an organization, and facilitators can also provide support with course delivery. So to the left, you can see a graphic which shows sort of like what the front page of our roadmap looks like. And just a reminder to everyone, all training needs to finish at or before midnight in your local time on the 12th of November to qualify for CLAD. And yeah, I've mentioned the World Tour webinar before, but if you can make it, do go because it is really exciting. And just some things to consider while you're planning CLAD. So do consider who you want your audience to be, how you'll get them involved, and then the best way that you'll deliver the training to suit the audience and make the most out of the day. Do think about how you'll promote the course, how to encourage as many learners as possible to take part in the day. And think big. CLAD's a really unique day, and we've got a lot of examples on our website of our previous CLAD Catalyst winners. We have all of our previous World Tour webinars on our YouTube channel. So there's quite a lot of resources where you can learn from others and see what they've done. And we're also really happy to sort of have a talk and bounce any ideas with you, and just help you as much as we can. If you've got any questions, do post them into the Q&A or in the chat. We'll be answering them throughout, and there's also the opportunity sort of to have more answered at the end. I'm going to pass over to Phil now for
Yeah.
our first interview.
Thank you. Yeah, looking at the Q&As, we're mainly addressing them as they go in writing. But yes, comments are also fine. So thanks for the shout out to Jersey as well, which was nice. So yeah, good. Let's get on and meet. What we're going to do with the interviews, by the way. We've got one interview before we hear from Fraz about how we can support you further, but also we're going to we'll talk to some more interviewees, guests after we've heard from Fraz about that. But we're going to move over to talk to one of our. Yeah, we should explain the CLAD Catalyst. We have so many things going on that we feel it's great to put a spotlight on some of the exemplary, the most exciting and ambitious things that have been done that address the theme of the particular year. That's what we do with the CLAD Catalyst. So, the first of those is we're going to hear from Michelle from the Sustainable Wedding Alliance. Now, Michelle, if we could bring up Michelle to see you as well. That would be great. Um,
Hi,
we seem to
everyone.
be. Oh, hi, Michelle. Now, yeah, that's a backdrop. You've really gone and
Yeah.
folks, I hope you recognize where Michelle is. We'll address that first. Um, Michelle has not landed on the moon or another planet. Michelle, where are you? Oh,
Uh,
go
so
on.
I'm going to have to move this way, otherwise you can't see me.
Absolutely, you're going into witness protection there. Go on.
Yes. So today I'm at the Eden Project. So we're hosting a special event this evening, getting together lots of wedding industry professionals before the wedding season kicks off down here at the Eden Project in Cornwall.
Yeah. And if you've not been to the Eden Project, it's just wow. Visionary place. Highly recommended. Let's rewind a bit, Michelle. Explain a bit about who you are and what you do with the Wedding Alliance.
Absolutely. So I am the founder and CEO of the Sustainable Wedding Alliance. And for the past 6 years, we have been in existence to drive change in our industry, to encourage the businesses to be thinking about what they're doing with their environmental and social impact, but also to be encouraging the couples that they are working with that are getting married to be conscious of what their wedding day impact is as well.
It's a much longer conversation. I'm interested. Is this coming from the couples or is it coming from the industry or both?
So we were definitely starting from the point that the industry wanted to do more, but the data is now really exciting to see that the couples that are coming into the wedding market, so the Gen Zs are absolutely more values driven and they really care about what a business is doing in terms of its environmental footprint. And so now we're seeing it from both sides, which means that we are very excited to see what's going to happen this year and beyond.
Oh, absolutely. That's music to our ears, of course, as well. Because I always talk about how climate action enables people and organizations to thrive. And if being carbon literate is a distinctive badge that you can use to get more business. But that's a longer conversation. I'm going off script. So sorry. What did you do at CLAD last year, Michelle?
So we host courses every, I'd say, month outside of wedding season, but we wanted to make sure that our CLAD session last year was really special. So we curated the group of people that we invited so that we had really big players with us. So we had really influential leaders within the industry joining us. We also invited a venue group, and we invited everyone from the head chef to the exec chef to the head of housekeeping and the GM, so that we were really making sure that we were talking to every department on a practical level. And we trained also more of our team members as well. So we really wanted to make sure that we were bringing people together that had the ability to create what we call the ripple effect, to be able to take that to organizations.
At every level, vertically, horizontally. And the theme last year obviously was collaboration and connection. So you were doing exactly that. What did you see happen in the room, Michelle?
What was really interesting is that the inviting people to come and curating that group of people is something that we haven't really aimed to do before. Normally, it's an open call, and anyone in the industry can absolutely come and join the session. But what we found is we were trying to talk to skeptics. We were talking to people that didn't know much about carbon emissions. And so actually the light bulb moments, it is cliched to say, but when people realize, and we of course used very specific examples to the wedding industry when we're talking about emissions, they don't realize what they're actually dealing with and the volume of weddings that we have in the UK and the type of footprint that they have, and actually through making some really simple changes in the business, but also encouraging couples to make those simple changes can really have a significant impact. So it was very interesting to see the difference between people walking into the room with kind of not really knowing what to expect, and then when they left the room.
So penny drop moment after penny drop moment.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Sounds really, really exciting. And I think you're sort of getting there, but what inspired you to participate? You're doing loads of training, but why CLAD? Why was that special for you?
I think for me, showcasing what we're doing alongside everybody else and really making a real point of the collaborative effort and how much can happen when you bring people together. And although we were only training 12 people in that room, we were part of something much bigger. And so for every individual that was in that room being trained, they knew they were part of something bigger. And it gave us all that opportunity to amplify the message and to talk about it on a much bigger stage. And I think that's so important. And that's why, since we designed our course in 23, we've been involved in CLAD, because it's that one opportunity every year to really get that message to a larger group, a larger audience.
And you participated in what we call the Round the World webinar to wrap it all up as well. I remember talking to you there. And you do have a great line and great backdrops as
I
well.
do.
It's got to be said.
Very
So,
lucky.
so what next? What's next for Sustainable Wedding Alliance? Have you got something up your sleeve for CLAD this year?
Yes, so we are working on a bit of a collaborative project with a couple of different industry networks. I can't say too much yet because we haven't announced it, but yeah, our aim is to train the largest group of people within the industry this year at an exciting location.
Oh, you're really keeping us on tenterhooks, Michelle. Fantastic. Can't wait to hear how that goes. And thanks so much for joining us now, especially as it's such a busy day. Really, really appreciated. Good luck with your event, and we look forward to hearing your exciting news about CLAD 26 for you. Thanks so much. Take
Lovely.
care.
Thank you.
And with which I'm going to pass over to Fraz, who's going to tell us a bit about how we can support you further. Thanks.
Thanks, Phil. Yes, so I'm just going to talk through a bit about the promotional support that we can offer you during CLAD 2026. So every year we create a communications pack, which will be shared with all training providers who have confirmed that they're going to be participating in CLAD. So this is aimed at supporting organisations in sharing that they're participating in CLAD, both internally amongst their own staff and with external audiences as well. So the pack includes copies of the CLAD international logos, social media graphics, training photos, a communications guide with a copy for various platforms, including website, email, newsletter, and individual social channels, a press release template for those who want to publish the news of their participation, and a copy of our brand guidelines, which includes important info about the use of our logo, our trademark, the capitalization of carbon literacy, and more. If you're offering an open training course, we can also list your course on our Action Day webpage and promote it accordingly via our social media channels as well. This can be really useful as a way to increase the visibility of any open courses that you're planning on running. So to ensure any open training that you're running is included, you can email the key details of your course to clad@carbonliteracy.com. So this should include a live link to your course booking page, along with any high quality photos or support that can help support the promotion of your course. And the sooner we're able to get that information, the sooner we can put it up and the more visibility it will receive. If you've formally registered your interest in CLAD already, you'll also be asked to share this information about any open courses you're running via our Confirm Your Participation form. And this will be shared with all organisations and trainers who've registered interest in the coming months. So now we can look to what our CLAD Catalyst Award theme is for this year, which is, in my opinion, the most exciting part. Each year we have a CLAD Catalyst Award to celebrate those who go above and beyond for carbon literacy during CLAD. And this year's CLAD Catalyst Award theme is Leverage Leaders, Amplify Impact. As the consequences of the climate emergency become increasingly evident, carbon literacy must reach those with the influence to shape decisions and set direction. This year's theme encourages you to engage key decision makers and leaders with the power to create the momentum needed for change at scale. When leaders step forward, they set the tone and send a powerful message, showing that climate action is a strategic priority. It strengthens culture, builds credibility, and inspires others to get involved. So, how can you meet the theme for this year? So this year, we want to encourage everyone to reach out to leaders to take part in carbon literacy. This could include inviting senior leaders, managers, or even community organisers to take part in carbon literacy training during CLAD. We know that one of the biggest barriers to gaining participation from leaders is a busy diary. So CLAD provides plenty of notice, giving you sufficient time to plan ahead and secure leadership involvement. We'd also love to see you use CLAD as an opportunity to showcase climate leadership and promote participation through PR, social media, and storytelling to raise awareness of your initiative. Share your carbon literacy journey, highlight ambassadors, testimonials, and endorsements, and showcase success stories that set the direction for a low carbon future, and hopefully inspire others to take action as well. By sharing actions and tangible steps being taken by leaders to accelerate climate action, a wider audience can be encouraged to get involved. And hopefully to inspire you further, we're going to go back to Phil to hear some more stories from our previous CLAD Catalyst Award winners.
Thanks so much, Fraz. Yep, so we're going to move on and hear from some more people who've sort of walked the walk and done this with us. In other words, previous Catalyst awardees. First, we're going to go to Georgina, who's got an extraordinarily wide range of practice. Georgina, tell us a bit about what you do as sustainability centric.
Oh, thank you, Phil, and thank you for inviting me to this webinar as well. So I'm Georgina Patel. I'm a freelance sustainability consultant and a proud carbon literacy consultant as well. And for transparency, I do work with the Carbon Literacy Project 1 day a week as part of their trainer network team. So really in the thick of things when it comes to carbon literacy. So I've been delivering carbon literacy at scale since 2022. Initially within an organisation working with a housing association, and then in a freelance capacity as well. So I deliver to sectors I've worked in or worked with over the years. That includes local authorities, social housing providers, civil service, and corporate senior leaders as well. I deliver in the UK in person, which is my preferred delivery methods, and online, and also internationally online to corporate leaders in Uganda, working with a social enterprise there, Climate Hub International. I'm a solo trainer, and just this week I've been looking at my numbers in terms of carbon literacy, and I've delivered to date 93 sessions to over 1,000 participants. So I need to really prepare for my 100th course delivery. I'm not sure whether it will align with CLAD. I might get there before, but let's see what happens.
Okay, you're doing loads and loads of training, multiple sectors, so a bit of a been there, done that. Why CLAD? What does that mean for you?
CLAD 2025 was great. I was able to fill all 4 days with training sessions. I also did the same.
Seriously, 4 days on the trot.
When you saw me at the webinar, the worldwide tour on day 4, like completely exhausted. I also did the same for 2024, CLAD 2024, filling 4 days with training sessions as well. So it's become an annual ambition for me, something I block my diary dates and aim to fill those dates with CLAD sessions. Back to the 2025 delivery, the Connect, Collaborate, Cascade, I really did think about the who I was delivering to and the cohorts I was delivering to as well. So the first session was the second half day of my inaugural open carbon literacy for social housing professionals course. And the participants to that course included chief exec, board members, senior leaders, operational staff from multiple social housing providers. And it gave them the opportunity to connect across different organisations, but within the same sector, really learning good practice, challenges, and had really deep and detailed conversations across those different organisations within that sector. So that was great. The next session was a full day in person in Swansea. So that was a travel down to Swansea to deliver to the Driver and Vehicle Standards Agency, government agency. So I had senior leaders and operational staff they've got multiple locations all across the UK, from Newcastle upon Tyne to Swansea and Bristol. So they came together for in-person delivery. And again, it was just a great way to collaborate within a government agency to share ideas and talk about their carbon reduction ambitions. And the third session was 2 consecutive half days to 22 participants from 12 different organisations to online delivery to Ugandan colleagues. So those sessions, Phil, I had 2 members from Uganda's Office of the Prime Minister and 1 member from the Parliamentary Forum for Climate Change for Uganda. So
no pressure at all.
Picked me up off the floor, seriously. It was amazing. And the great thing about all of those cohorts and all of those participants, and especially the Ugandan parliamentary members, they were so open and honest and shared some of the challenges that they were facing on this agenda, especially dealing with the raw, and I really do mean raw, impacts of severe extreme weather events. Real devastating, heart-wrenching stories that I heard there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I always remember that first conversation with the training organization there. Just that thing. This is not academic. Oh no, the 3rd year of drought near Kampala. It's a massive reality check.
And for me, delivering in the UK and to Uganda it gives me real perspective.
Yeah, fantastic. Next year, what are we thinking?
Next year more.
Sorry, what am I saying? Next year, this year.
Absolutely more. I've got my diary blocked out. I'm working with and having conversations about commissions for carbon literacy delivery. So I'm encouraging to keep some of those dates and some of those days for CLAD, definitely. When I work with organisations, there are 2 important things that I introduce, Carbon Literacy Organisation and CLAD. Why? Because I think the 2 things really do showcase organisational commitment to reducing emissions. Carbon Literacy Organisation, and we're not here to talk about that today, but it's the number of people who have become carbon literate, but it's more than that. It's about integrating carbon literacy into their products, services, operations, and really embedding it within their culture. And for CLAD, it's an opportunity to be part of something bigger.
Yeah,
it gives organisations a real powerful platform, and I think it gives them a megaphone to our UK leaders and world leaders to say, okay, you carry on talking and negotiating and picking the bones from of words and phrases, but we'll take the action. We're here to learn, understand, and take action.
It keeps going back to that word catalyst, doesn't it? So fantastic. Georgina, I'd love to speak for longer, but we've got 2 other guests that we've got to get to. So look, very, very best of luck. Can't wait to hear about your CLAD for this year and that wildly full diary. People want to know, people want to know how you do 4 days in a trot, but no time for that now. We're going to move on. And from one solo trainer, we're going to now talk to Anne from Transport for London. So we from the micro to the macro. Anne, thanks so much for joining us. Let's use the acronym TFL, Transport for London. The TFL story is staggering. How many folk have you trained? Even roughly.
So now we have trained over 7,000 colleagues.
Wow. I was out by the odd 1,000. It is just staggering. So I love the idea of a transport executive, a transport agency doing this, because all of public transport and integrated transport, active travel, is the climate story is so strong, isn't it? And here you are. Georgina was talking about how this becomes part of the culture of an organization. This is what you're up to with Transport for London. How's it been going?
Well, when we first started, we didn't really see that we would be here where we are today. We still know that there's a lot more to do, but we are really happy to celebrate the 7,000 that we've trained so far. And then also we've just really understood that Our colleagues really value the awareness that we're creating and how education is very important, even in their day-to-day life as well as at the workplace. So it has really been a driven force, and the demand to book a space for the CarbonLiteracy course has been immense. It's not decreasing. We are only seeing it going up. So yeah, it has been a great opportunity to be a part of CarbonLiteracy project as well as CLAD. Yeah, I mean, I'll let you ask me the questions unless you want me to carry on talking about CLAD.
That was great. So yeah, well, what did you do for CLAD last year, Anne?
Yeah, so last year we've actually done a lot from the beginning when CLAD started. So this is going to be our 4th year this year that we're taking part. So last year was our 3rd year, and it was the first time I was leading on CLAD. And I think being a part of CLAD really helps you to navigate into different avenues in the CarbonLiteracy program. So when we are usually doing it, we'll be just focusing on internal training and just having a course from 9 to 5. But whereas when you're taking part in CLAD, you try to meet the different themes and to really bring out that. So it has really helped us to navigate into different areas and different avenues, where we started from delivering night training into hybrid training for colleagues who couldn't really come to the offices due to health reasons and working from home. So we have really done a lot, and particularly highlighting things we did for CLAD 2025. So we hosted a virtual webinar session for our small medium enterprises. We had over 20.
Well, these are suppliers, Anne.
Yes, small medium suppliers
So
that we
this is
work
really
with.
where we're moving into the network and connecting piece here.
Yes, because we really want to ensure that they understand what carbon is. And then also the webinar, what we had was we emphasized on climate awareness, and then spoke about what we are trying to do to have a low carbon supply chain within TFL. So it was showcasing to them that our TFL vision is to have a low carbon supply chain and the importance of it. So we had over 20 of our suppliers joining this. From there on, then we moved to having an internal delivery of in-person training for our senior leaders, especially the areas that we found was less engaging. And also, like we said before, it's really difficult to get the time in their diaries because they seem to be really busy and full on. So that was really good to get them all to come into one room and to also see how they discuss, and also being open about the topic and letting us know their understanding, and also understanding how they can thrive and cascade down to their teams on carbon reductions in their work roles. So that was really ambitious. And then we also having CLAD on different 4 days is really good because we can't fit all this into one day. So it followed with doing delivery courses for construction learners. So we have one of the networks under Transport for London is Places for London. So they have a skill center where they have construction learners there. So this was the first time I actually myself was there, and I saw how they really appreciated that we were trying to raise awareness on carbon, trying to educate them, because knowing that they'll be going to construction sites, especially where carbon hotspots are. So that really helped them to identify these. So that was a new experience. But then also lessons learned is that we realized we need to sort of change our carbon literacy slides to match them, because
Yes.
the way they do it is different.
Relevance,
Yes,
always the relevance
yes,
piece.
because
This is
one
so,
doesn't fit all.
no. And
Yes,
with an organization as huge and diverse as TFL, you really you're covering all the bases here though, Anne. And again, you've really expressed how CLAD can be that catalyst to get the leaders. Oh my, have you seen my diary and how important I am? So yeah, absolutely fantastic. I wish you can't wait to hear what you're up to this year, but time's ticking. Sorry, we're going to have to move on now.
that's
Thanks
all
so
right.
much for
Thank
joining
you.
us, and we'll catch up with you as plans come together. Thanks for all the support so far. So from organizers and trainers, we really thought we'd like to hear from a learner as well. So we're going to talk to Claudette from NHS Supply Chain. Hi, Claudette. Welcome to the event.
Thank you for having me.
NHS supply chain, let's just say that's self-explanatory. You do the supply chain for the NHS, right? That fairly much sums it up. But you were a learner at last year's CLAD. How was that for you?
Well, I was very pleased to have done it on the actual CLAD and got a very shiny special certificate. So that's got pride of place in my certificate stash.
Right.
It was eye-opening. So just for a bit of background, I'm
Mm.
a clinician, I'm a midwife, but I'm spending some time doing a fellowship with NHS Supply Chain just from an improvement capacity, trying to bridge that gap to make sure that the direction we are going into for the future of the NHS is aligned to what we need as frontline clinicians. So
You're getting to the nub of this here, Claudette, as in you can have all the targets and your net zero stuff you like. If it's not contributing to the health of patients and the public, why would we be bothered? So you're absolutely nailing it. You're aligning your frontline experience with this whole net zero stuff. So please, how was it? How was your day?
I think my jaw dropped several times because as a clinician, we are so focused on the people in our care. We don't often have the opportunity to stop and take that oversight or have that oversight strategic view of the NHS. And it's very easy to grab a glove. It's very easy to go and get one more syringe. But when you realize that there are over a million other people doing the same thing, the impact is vast. So the day started with just sharing how much the NHS contributes to the carbon footprint of the UK, because the scale is just monstrous. But then we started to break that down and understand where that came from, where that comes from. So for me as a clinician, there were areas that I hadn't really considered before coming into supply chain. When I need something, it generally has appeared on the shelf, so I go and get it from there. But just having to stop and think of the processes and the procedures and the logistics it has taken to get that device or that product into my hand, all the miles traveled in the back of a logistics van, probably on the back of a ferry from a different country because we are in an international healthcare system, was mind-boggling. So it got me thinking, what can I do as an individual just in my day-to-day practice about what more sustainable choices I can make. But then as part of my fellowship, I'm here to look about improvements in maternity and neonates across the NHS. So what can we do or apply? What principles can we apply on a larger scale really to impact as much change as possible?
Yeah. And the flip side of it, what's the point of doing what you do if you're decreasing the health of the population? So it goes both ways, and how decreasing the footprint of healthcare can improve health across the UK. So jaw dropping.
Yeah,
It feels like the start of a process for you, Claudette. Yeah.
very much so. This is a long-term plan. I'm here and hopefully getting a really good foundation on something that is going to grow and develop and expand. But there are already some organisations championing this. So I would say Newcastle as a maternity unit is running or is part of something called the Born Green Generation, based on lots of research about what the next generation is literally being born into. How much single-use plastics do we put onto our newborns, and how much will they be exposed to throughout their life cycle? So Newcastle are champions in this space. I have to give them a shout out. But they recently, the Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists have also published something called the Green Maternity Report. So if anyone else is interested to find out more about what's happening in the NHS, then there are a list of about 30 maternity units and neonatal units that are just taking steps in the right direction. So we're thinking about the gases that we're using down to literal single use. What can we do more reusably or sustainably?
Fantastic. And I love that there's almost poetry in this. We're talking about the beginning of life and the future health of those babies going on into the future, their future safety. So, Claudette, I'd love to be able to talk to you further, but thanks so much for joining us today. And I feel I think there's a specialist carbon literacy course to be done here, isn't there? But that may should we take that offline, maybe?
Let's do that. Please do. Thank you for having me, and please talk some more.
Thank you so much, Claudette. Cheers. And I'm going to hand over now, I think, back to Grace to help wrap things up.
Yeah, that was super interesting. It's really hard to follow our guest speakers just because it's it's just so amazing to see the impact of carbon literacy and sort of hearing about it in real terms. Sometimes it's quite easy to be detached, so it's really nice to come together and just see like the amazing work that's being done. So hopefully you're all feeling really inspired now to take part in this year's CLAD. So do register your interest. We'll pop the link in the form. And once you've done that, you'll receive access to the roadmap. You should get it straight away. And use that to plan your training. We've heard from some really amazing initiatives and have also heard about the impact from a learner. So it is a really exciting opportunity to do something big and do something out of the ordinary. And if you do need any support, we are here to help. Just email the team. It's clad@carbonliteracy.com. It's our 6th year doing it, so we've got quite a lot of experience now supporting all sorts of different initiatives. And yeah, we're really here to help you and just make your action day as big as you want it to be. I think all of the questions in the Q&A have been answered so far. Give it maybe the call's on till 5, so I'll give it a minute, see if there are any questions posted in.
I'll just chip in while people are
Yeah.
pondering that. I just think I hope people attending today have got a sense of how things can flow onward from carbon literacy. The leadership thing, our focus today, is so essential. Something I didn't have a chance to talk to Anne about from Transport for London. They started at the top. They took almost a pyramid approach. I think that their commissioner was actually in the first group. The top dog of TfL was in the first group, and they've really taken it down the pyramid there, which is one route that organizations have taken. But yeah, 7,000 people there. It's hugely relevant to everything they do. But going back to the leadership thing, if you're with us at the moment and you just need that extra line of persuasion for your leaders to unlock their diary, get in touch. We might have that example of someone else doing carbon literacy that could be the persuader to get them to commit that time. We're absolutely alongside to help you do the persuasion piece at this point. And then also to tell the story as well, whether it's at the webinar or with our comms team and our social media. Again, any way to amplify that commitment, we're absolutely on board there. So and we're just having a quick look to see if there are any more questions. And I'm looking back through. Yeah. Another thing to stress is that we do have a lot of pre-existing courses. Andrew was talking about the training toolkit we have for the cultural sector, which has been created by the Greater Manchester Arts and Sustainability Team, or GMAST. So a whole range. If you haven't got a course, we've got a whole load of things that might work for you. And even if you're creating a course from scratch, we have a foundational toolkit of generic materials that you can use. So very little has to be started from scratch. We do make the process as easy as possible. So I'm thinking, Grace, unless there are new questions, I'm thinking that maybe That's yeah, an interesting question that was put up from Helen about voluntary versus mandatory training. It's just worth a quick reflection as we have a moment. Voluntary is great in terms of motivation. Are those people really our targets? They might already be on board. Obviously, they could have their skills and knowledge enhanced. Mandatory training might be bringing the less usual suspects on board or people who feel it's not relevant to them. The only thing I say about mandatory training is to get your pre-communication absolutely bang on. You've nailing the relevance. Why are we asking you or telling you to do this? That's really important. And again, we've got lots of examples of how that's done. And dare I say some occasions where it's not worked that well and how we've learned that as well. So relevance, 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 if you're doing mandatory training. And rising to that challenge, don't be scared of that. Obviously it's nice to have friends already on board with the agenda, but actually, I think the persuasion piece might demand others to come on board. We've just got another question that's popped up here. I just have a quick look at that. Mike, yeah, have we got evidence of financial benefits? Yes, we're publishing our impact report imminently. And that has some amazing case studies. What we're lacking, to my frustration, is the absolutely authoritative piece that says it saves this much money. But some great examples, an engineering company that saves 60 grand on energy by making some tweaks on their manufacturing process. There's also the common sense thing that motivated people will not waste energy. So that's a big cost saving there. It's not straightforward because sometimes you have to invest to save. You might have to buy some kit. The classic example, LED light bulbs are more expensive, but they save you loads of money. So that's how that rolls. But so very, very useful question there. Thank you very much. Of course, people are coming straight in with questions now. I'm just having a quick look there. No, I think, what do we think, colleagues? Rather than absolutely ring out every last minute of this.
Yeah, I'm happy to sort of call it now. I just want to say a massive thank you to all of our guest speakers. You've been fantastic. And thank you to our attendees as well. I hope you feel inspired to take part and that you enjoyed this event. There's a link to register for CLAD in the chat. There's also a nice QR code that will take you to the sign up page. But yeah, if you're on the fence, do register. It's a fantastic event. There'll be thousands of other people from across the world taking part, and it's just a really fantastic opportunity to sort of see carbon literacy at its very best.
So thank you everyone for spending the time with us this afternoon. Just still afternoon, not quite evening. My thanks to all our guests, to Michelle down at the Eden Project, Georgina, Anne, Claudette. I wish we had more time to speak. Maybe we'll do that another time. And to all my colleagues that have made this possible as well. Good luck. To attendees, there's no such thing as a daft question. Ask us stuff that we might have missed. We look forward to supporting you in the future. Grace, do you want to say farewell?
Yeah, goodbye everyone. Take care. And if you missed anything in this, the recording will be uploaded next week.
Take care, everyone.
Take care, everyone. Thank you.